I'm Walter Herzog. I'm a professor at the Faculty of Kinesiology and the director of the Human Performance Laboratory here at the University of Calgary. So I'm a musculoskeletal biomechanist. That means I apply engineering principles to biological systems. And the biological systems that I'm mostly interested in are joints and muscles. Initially, I was an athlete. I was performing in track and field, and then wanted to do biomechanics because I was interested in knowing how people move and then apply that of becoming a very educated coach. I wanted to be an educated coach that could tell athletes exactly what to do from a biomechanical point of view so they could optimize movement. So we're working with the long jumpers, trying to figure out how to make them jump as far as they can. And I very quickly realized that in order to answer that question, I needed to know what properties the muscles have that these athletes have, and I needed to know how they function. And by asking myself, how do muscles work in these athletes? How do they get those high work outputs, those high power outputs? I needed to know really how muscles contract on a molecular and cellular level by asking questions that had not really been resolved very often, that required that we needed to develop the appropriate technology as well to do that, and then that technology became a common practice. If I was to think about why we had some of the successes and why we had some of the impacts, I think it is primarily because we have not shied away from asking questions that have not been asked before, and then maybe most importantly also to look very, very carefully at the data and the results that you have, and then identify when results don't really fit your expectations. Don't throw them away, but try to understand them. I think my favorite thing day to day is really the interaction with my trainees, the postdoc, the graduate students, and I think being able to work with that and learning from them and seeing how they see the world and seeing how people with a completely fresh mind that are very, very clever, how they look at things that you have done critically very often, and then helping you getting to the next step is very, very important. Receiving the Killam Prize was primarily a very personal, emotional event for me. It's also important to inspire colleagues, the same age or younger, junior colleagues, and I think something like that gives a certain inspiration to people, and I think also values what we are doing here at the University of Calgary in this lab, in the Human Performance Laboratory. And I think that's really the primary benefit of receiving the Killam Award.